Welcome to another Eastland County Today Live. We are here with HB O'Brien and Trent from the First
Financial Bank.
First Financial Bank. He's here to discuss and tell you guys how the online banking world is moving to the mobile apps. From this point on, I'm going to let HB here take the wheel.
Trent, we're glad to have you here with us today. And I must start with this humorous bit. Not so many years ago, I had a employee of the bank, was First National then,
Right.
tell me, you will see the day when you will no longer see paper checks. How far away are we from that?
I don't know that we'll ever really get away from paper checks. I mean, that's been said for a long time. And I guess if anybody has a crystal ball, then maybe they can figure that out. But certainly the number of paper checks are going down. But the interesting thing about it, one of the things we'll talk about today is with our mobile app, being able to make deposits through the mobile app. But in order to do that, you've got to have a paper check to take a picture of. So inevitably, now certainly there are other methods of making, transfers, wires, ACHs, those type of things, electronic, that takes away from the paper means. But it's interesting how some of these other means are going to expedite the availability and convenience for the customer. But I think we'll still have paper to some degree for probably quite some time. It's just the means of transacting that is done differently than it used to be.
In our business, we see fewer checks. They come in and with your other new device where our bookkeeping department just runs them through a machine and they're automatically deposited. You obviously have a lot of customers like that now.
We do. And what you're referring to is a product we call remote deposit.
Right.
It's something that commercial customers primarily will have on site. Allows them to, go to, I guess most folks, are typical protocol is you're going to go to the mailbox and collect all your checks, bring them back here, run them through your systems, take care of your receivables,
fill out the deposits,
do everything you normally do. But instead of taking that then and running to the bank, which may or may not be next to you, depending on where your business is located, if you've got multiple locations, you can in turn take those checks, as you just mentioned, scan them through a scanner. It correlates with your, with your accounting system, depending on the type of accounting system it is. And then you're able to essentially hit a button and you could go online if you wished at that time to look at your bank account and see that deposit is pending. So you've got one, it gives you access to those funds a little faster, but two, you think about the liability to an employer. If you're sending an employee out to run errands, do things, go to the bank, you never know about things that could happen from a safety standpoint.
Absolutely. And
has.
Yes.
Certainly it's typically few and far between, and we hope that it stays that way, but that's just a part of being out and about. But those things, these products like that, the remote deposit, allows you as a business operator to be more efficient with your processes, but to have quicker access to your funds, and allows you to stay at the office and keep working and taking care of your customer as well.
Absolutely. I think I probably jumped ahead on you because you were explaining how individuals can, as you said, take a picture of a check and deposit it, and I jumped to the commercial aspect. So you have a number of services that the public needs to know about.
Well, HV, I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to do this. We're fortunate right now in a sense that our bank has been around for 125 years. You've seen our ads that we're running with you guys, shows that we've been around since 1890. That was our original charter date. So we're fortunate in that regard, and we're thankful to all of our customers for being so loyal, allowing us to have that length of tenure. So the things we want to do to continue going forward is to be able to provide additional and new products and services to our customers. And nowadays, we all know we've got access to our mobile phones, and for a lot of people, that's become their life. That's their
second nature. I think it's built on to some people.
It almost is. It just
Yeah.
kind of latches in. So one of the things that we have developed, and a lot of folks have this, is some type of mobile app. Now, we were the first to develop and send out the picture pay. The picture pay is what I would refer to as the bill pay option. Now, what you're referencing is the mobile app itself, which allows you to deposit checks. And kind
Right.
of what I was mentioning earlier, you'd basically pull up the First Financial Bank app. Of course, you can go out to the app stores, download that for free. If you got an account with us, all you would simply do is log in. It would pull up your information, whether you've got checking account, savings account, loans, whatever it may be. It's going to pull those up so that you can see the balances on those accounts. But if someone, most folks now from a payroll standpoint have direct deposit, kind of back to that paperless society.
Right.
That's what a lot of businesses have gone to. So for payroll, a lot of folks have that. They wake up in the morning and they can look at their account, check's already there from the employer. But it's always those, a birthday check, maybe an interest and royalty check, or things that aren't always done online that for a lot of folks is a convenience, standpoint.
True.
They're glad to have the $20 check, but they've driven by the bank 6 times in the last week and forgot to go to the bank because everything they have set up is automated. Well, what you can do is have the app. The app will allow you to take that $20 check, log into the app, set it down, take a picture of the front, endorse the back. You have to endorse the back of the check.
Still have to endorse.
Yes, sir. Still have to
Absolutely.
endorse it because we've got a team.
Does that not relieve the bank of responsibility?
Well, what we've got is we've got a team that works behind the scenes and checks those, validates that they're legitimate checks, and validates one that hasn't been processed before. So there's a lot of safeguards and securities put into place. But you're going to take a picture of the front. The app will guide you through it. It's going to say, now take a picture of the back of the check. You'll flip it over, and if it's not endorsed, it won't go through. So it's interesting. It's interesting the safeguards are in there. But then you'll take a picture of the back, verify the amount, click it, hit send, and it's done. And you can go out, like I say, you can either go into your app, you can go online banking, you could call our customer service line, whatever, in a period of time, and you're going to see that transaction is pending to be processed. So it does add a layer of convenience to the customer, and that's what folks are wanting to see nowadays.
We're seeing more and more of those things, and they're a godsend because everybody is so busy. You don't have time to run to the bank. You either go into the lobby or go through the drive-through, either of which can be time consuming.
Sure.
And so the things you are offering customers now makes it a brand new ball game. The one person I'd like to meet is the person in your bank who really can interpret my handwriting.
Well, that's difficult for all of us. I always joke to see to see the signature card, to think, man, I don't sign my name twice. I don't think the same way, no matter how hard I try. Just nature of it. You talked a little bit about convenience, and one of the other things too that's been there for folks, and we've utilized now. I know here in Eastland County, we have one at all 4 of our Eastland County locations, which would be Eastland, Cisco, Ranger, and Rising Star.
Thank you for mentioning those, because that's relatively new, and the people throughout the county need to know where you can be reached.
You bet. So we do have locations in Eastland, Cisco, Ranger, and Rising Star, which pretty well covers all different sides of Eastland County. And we've got deposit taking ATMs, and that's an unusual thing for a lot of folks. Historically, you need cash. You're either going to go into the bank and withdraw cash, or you're going to go to the ATM and withdraw cash. But what do you do? Kind of back to the situation, convenience. What if you don't have a mobile phone and you've received that $20 birthday check or whatever it may be, or maybe you even got paid on a job with some cash and you don't want to carry that around, but it's Saturday. Okay, the bank's closed until Monday morning.
Can't do it.
Now you can go to, if you've got a debit card, one to use, at your ATM machine, you're going to pull up to your ATM. In fact, you'll notice used to it just, you swiped your card and it asks you, how much, which account and how much you wanted to withdraw. Well, now you swipe it and it's going to ask you deposit or withdrawal, because now those are deposit taking machines that we have at our locations. You can take those checks or take cash and make a deposit into the machine, and same thing, it's going to count the cash for you, verify that that's what the amount was, or then the receipt's going to spit out to you and show what that is. So you got your receipt to show how much you made deposit for. So it's an interesting.
That's relatively new, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is.
Year, last year?
We've had it here in Eastland for a couple of years, maybe as much as 3. Time flies. The older we get, it seems like yesterday. But it is a convenience that we've been able to add to our customers for those times outside, and that's really what we're looking at. Is we've had situations where lots of businesses had to close the last several days because of the ice.
Because of the weather, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, from the employee standpoint, the bank was still open. But fortunately, from our customer standpoint, the bank was still open. So we were open during those times. But again, if folks couldn't get out because of the ice to get to the bank, even though we were open, they could still transact their business if they utilize those outside sources.
New too.
So it's interesting. It's things that you can do from a convenience and possibly from a safety standpoint. I hadn't thought about that till last week, but icy roads, people don't need to be out on them.
They don't need to be. That's right. What do you see coming down the line? What's coming?
I think we're going to work on things to just further enhance the mobile app. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, there's still online banking capabilities where you've got, capabilities to log in through your laptop computer, those type of things. But I think more and more folks that we're seeing the trend go towards the mobile app itself. And so I think it's going to be enhancements towards the mobile app. Right now, the one thing you can't do, but we're working on and hope to roll out very soon, is accessing your statements. Historically, folks got their statements in the mail. Well, a lot of folks now, they're fine with just getting them through email, or accessing them through the online banking app. The thing you can't do is right now is access them here, but we're working on that, and soon we'll release that. So I think that's going to be an added enhancement that folks will enjoy, especially as they switch completely to be a mobile user. And I personally am the same. I'm at the bank all day, right? Yeah. And I'm the first guy that will come home on the weekend and I didn't get any cash. If I needed cash for spending money, I always forget the things that normal folks do because I'm working there to take care of customers.
Somebody else has that problem too.
I forget the things that I'm supposed to take care of for myself. So simply, those things, getting cash, but paying bills, I've still got to do those type of things for myself, and I go home and pay bills, and I pay them right here. Every one of my bills I pay is through the.
Now on the statement that will come through to an app, that they presumably, if they want to, print that out and have a copy if they want to.
Certainly on the online banking, yes. You can do that. You've got access to the printer to print off the statement, keep those. A lot of folks want to archive them, or refer back to them. Maybe, of course, right now it's tax preparation time.
Yeah, that's what I thought about.
Folks are getting their taxes prepared, getting them to their CPAs. So that would be something they could certainly have from the online banking feature to turn around and give to their CPA or just reference back to in some form or fashion.
I asked you off the air a while ago about Ron Butler, and you told me that he comes in once a month.
At least. Yes, sir.
That's good. Now, his title is president of.
Ron is he's the CEO of the Abilene region, but he is also the chief administrative officer of the holding company, First Financial Bank Shares.
Okay, the bank shares, right.
And that's our holding company to all of our regional banks across the state of Texas. But he's also serves as chairman of the board here for our Eastland region. As you mentioned, he's obviously from this
is
area,
his home at base.
grew up in Eastland County. So it's nice to have, those ties back here. And that's how we still operate today. We still operate as a community bank. We still have local boards in our region. So for Eastland County, we have a local board, and those board members help us make our local decisions.
Right.
When it comes to making loans and community involvement and the things that we do in and around this community, we rely on their wisdom and experience and guidance to help us.
Well,
make
the
our
ones you
decisions.
have, we won't name them, but they are solid citizens. I'll say that.
Yes, sir. Real fortunate to
They're
have.
friends of mine, friends of yours, and friends of most people in this town, our
bet.
town. I see, or I have seen, the bank grow and expand, and I know that you've added major facilities toward the Metroplex.
Yes, sir.
Are you in actually Fort Worth yet?
Interesting you asked that, HB. Right now we
Hey,
are.
you didn't prompt me.
No, I
did you?
didn't. You got these things figured out. We are actually in process of building a location in Fort Worth right now. I believe the location is, for those folks that know that area, is Rosedale and Forest Park. I believe those are the cross streets. It's around the hospital district area.
That's good area.
And of course now with all the construction going on, if anybody is familiar with that Fort Worth area, you've got the new toll road coming up and around, and you've got several highways coming together. I guess you've got 35W, 121, 30, all coming together at one point there, virtually just outside of downtown. And this location
It's going to be another mix master, I think.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And so with this location would be easy access in that area. In essence, you're going to you can peel off the exit ramp, be right there at the location, and get right back on pretty easily. It will be a big location, and it's interesting. We're going into Fort Worth at the request of our customers. With all of our locations,
Well, I'm sure you have a lot of customers there.
we do, and right now, as far as if you just take the Metroplex area itself, we're essentially north of Fort Worth, what we're going to call Northeast Tarrant County.
Right.
We're west of Fort Worth over in Parker County area, and we're south of Fort Worth down around your Johnson County area.
Yeah.
So we surround it, and that's always been our niche
I knew that,
to be in your outlying, typically your rural communities.
Right.
That's our model that we've always followed, and it's done well for us. We've got a long history of loyal customers that have allowed us to serve them in those markets. But now we are building that location in Fort Worth, which will essentially, the way I see it, kind of pull some synergy for that northern, western, and southern region of Tarrant County and surrounding counties. It'll kind of pull some synergy through there. But what's interesting is I mentioned we've got a lot of folks requesting us to be in Fort Worth. That's not necessarily the Metroplex customers. It's a lot of our West Texas customers that go up and down I-20 and spend a lot of time in Fort Worth.
They need a place down there to do business.
That's right.
Absolutely.
They're in and out of there a lot. You've got a lot of folks who have kids on travel sports teams, that play a lot of tournaments in the Metroplex. You've got folks that are going to go
in college in that area.
Or in college in that area. You got TCU and SMU over in Dallas. Just lots of reasons are pulling people, maybe not residing or working in the Metroplex, but they're in and out of there for different events. And so because of that, they have asked, when are you guys going to put one in Fort Worth? And
that's
so
interesting.
That's what we're working on.
Well, you've always, I hesitate to use the term, also been a country bank.
Yes, sir.
I mean, which is complimentary in my books.
Yes, sir.
Because it's who we are out here, and it's just one of us out here. So I think, unless Jason, I'd like to salute him because he's the technical man who puts us all together. We just go along for the ride. And we do thank you for coming, unless you have some other special announcement you'd like to make here. you're welcome to do that.
Well, as always, we appreciate Eastland County Today, and you guys continue to support us and provide opportunities for us because your folks are reading your papers and now accessing your websites. Same thing. You know, we're all having to evolve and look for other
See,
methods.
they've taught me a lot because I started with hot metal printing, which is a thing of historical significance, but not in use. When you and I visited, and I'll throw in this plug for our friend Ron Armstrong.
Yes, sir.
When we visited him, all of his printing equipment is digital.
Yes, sir.
No type, no. It's all off of computer, and you wonder how it works, but that's the thing of the future, I think.
I think it is, and so you know, those type of things allow us to all to reach our customer in some different aspect.
Right.
And so for that, you know, I do want to say thank you to Eastland County Today for providing those opportunities and advertisements, and you know, allowing us to a lot of times salute different folks and offer thanks and those type of acknowledgments to our
Sure.
customers and other
Well,
community
as I
service
told you the other
organizations.
day, I want to thank you for you and your employees. They're always friendly. They always have a smile. Goodbye, have a good day. And that means a lot to people.
Well, thank you.
You know.
We strive towards customer service because at the end of the day, we know that that's the only thing that separates us from the competition. Is customer
Absolutely.
service. So hopefully we can continue to live up to that.
Good.
That's what we aspire to.
And as you leave here, I hope you have a good day.
Thank you, HB.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much
it.
for coming in.
You bet.
Well, that's it for today's Eastland County Today Live. You guys tune in next week, and we will see you later.
I believe we finished.
Perfect. That worked out pretty good.
I was